Hey everyone, how's it going? Azren the language nerd here, as per usual. Hope you are doing very, very well. For the minority of you who happen to catch this, on the day it's being recorded, yes, there are two different lessons all happening on the. Hang on, just gonna turn that off. There we go. On the same day, which is good, I suppose. Let me just adjust some of this lighting here, see if that makes it any better. This room's a little bit darker than where I would typically go, but I've got an extra lamp here. Okay, well, hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can see me clearly enough here. So as per usual, in the description, you're going to find the note file for the class. So please open that in a separate tab. Keep that open in a separate tab. For now, though, direct your attention on the YouTube page for now. Sounds good. So in the last video here, we had discussed a lot about asking questions. In fact, we spent a good chunk of time on asking questions. And today, what we're going to go through is some question words. So far, based on what we've covered off, you were able to ask all sorts of different questions, but you're still kind of limited because if you don't have question words, you're not able to actually ask every single type of question that one might actually be able to ask. But of course, as per usual, let's start our review. Let me write the timestamp down as well, just so I have it for afterwards. So we are currently at 1:45. 1:45, review starts. And then 0:00, we did intro to the lesson. Fantastic. Okay, great. Okay, we're good to go. So let's start with the review of last time, as per always. So let me ask you some different things. Est-ce que tu peux manger la viande? So, est-ce que tu peux manger la viande? Think about that. Est-ce que tu peux manger la viande? So I'm going to write it out on here so you can see it. Est-ce que tu peux manger la viande? Est-ce que tu peux manger la viande? So est-ce que, as we know, is a way to start questions. Tu peux is you can. Manger, we saw last class, which is eat. La viande. Can you eat meat? Right? We saw this question. I think we even did this exact question in the last video, in the last lesson. So, est-ce que tu peux manger la viande? If you can, what would you say? Oui. Oui, je peux. Oui, je peux. And if you can't, right? So, oui, je peux, if you can eat meat. And if you can't eat meat, what do you say? Non, je ne peux pas. Right? Non, je ne peux pas. Hopefully it's a bit clear. I know the lighting's a bit less clear today, but hopefully you guys can kind of see it despite the reflection and all of that. Can I make it any better? Not really. Hopefully you can see that clearly enough. Okay? Non, je ne peux pas. As a reminder, when we speak in casual language with friends, family, people we know, it is acceptable to not pronounce this ne. So it is acceptable to say non, je peux pas. That is acceptable in casual speech with friends, family, and people you know. Okay? Let's do a little bit of a harder question. What if I said, Est-ce que tu t'appelles Marie? 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 So let's look at that one together. Est-ce que tu t'appelles Marie? So est-ce que is a question word, of course. Tu t'appelles is, what's tu t'appelles actually? Do you guys know? Think about it. In like comment t'appelles-tu? We've seen it, right? Est-ce que tu t'appelles Marie? Is your name Marie? Right? And you might say, non. How would you respond? Let's say your name is not Mary. Most likely, if you're watching this, your name is not Mary. Your name is something different. So you would say, non. How do you say my name is? Je what? If you want to pause the video and think about how you'd reply, feel free to hit pause and then come back. So, non. Je m'appelle. Non. Je m'appelle and your name. So, no. My name is and your name. Non. Je m'appelle and your name. There we go. Non, je m'appelle blah, 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 blah. Right? Let's do a little more practice here. Let's just do a very fast speed round, lightning round practice of different words that we've done, okay? So we're gonna go fast, okay? I'm gonna say a word, I'll pause for 2 seconds to let you think about it. I'm not gonna write anything, I'm only gonna do it orally. I say something, you in your mind go, aha, I know what that means. Or maybe you don't know what it means, okay? Ready for this? Very, very fast. I only give you 2 or 3 seconds to think about each one, okay? Salut. Salut means hi. Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Bonsoir means what? Good evening. Okay, next one, lightning round. Je m'appelle Azren. Je m'appelle Azren. Je m'appelle Azren. What does that mean? My name is Azren. Je n'ai pas un chien. Je n'ai pas un chien. I'll give you a little bit extra time for that one. It's a longer one, harder one. Je n'ai pas un chien. Je n'ai pas un chien. What does that mean? We've seen this exact sentence before. I don't have a dog, right? I'll write that one. I'll give you a little bit of help just in case. Je n'ai pas. Right? Je n'ai pas means what? We saw this last time. I don't have. Je n'ai pas un chien. Right? Est-ce que tu as un chien? Est-ce que tu as un chien? Est-ce que tu as un chien? What did I ask you? Do you have a dog? If you have a dog, you would say, oui, j'ai un chien. Or, non, je n'ai pas un chien. Okay? Let's give you another random word. What is une maison? Une maison. Une maison. We haven't seen that one in a little while. That was in the very, very first video. Une maison. It means a house, right? Une maison. Right here. Une maison. Okay, let's do another one here. Let's do manger. Manger. Eat, right? Manger. This one we haven't done in a long time. I'll give you extra time to think about what this means. If I ask you like, hey, what is the square root of 1,672? And you're like, I don't know. You don't know. How do you say, I don't know, in French? You would say, je. I'll write it, and as I write, you guys can think. Je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas, right? Or I put the ne in brackets because in casual speech with friends and family, you can omit this ne and it becomes je sais pas. Je sais pas, right? Je sais pas. Or je ne sais pas. Both of them. I don't know, right? Or if I say, let's give another one here, quick review. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. What does that mean? Merci beaucoup. Thanks a lot, right? And if you want to say, oh, you're welcome, no worries, not a problem at all, you would say de rien, de rien, de rien. Merci beaucoup, de rien. How about some really easy ones? Yes and no. How do you say yes and no? Oui and non. Oui, non. Oui, non. Let's do another one here, very fast lightning round. I want you to try and answer this one in front of the computer screen. D'où viens-tu? D'où viens-tu? We haven't done this in a while. We did it in the earlier videos, but we haven't revisited it. I like revisiting stuff like this. Makes you remember. D'où viens-tu? What does this one mean? D'où viens-tu? Where are you from? Do you say je viens de, and whatever country? Je viens d'Angleterre, je viens du Canada, je viens de France, je viens d'Australie, je viens de l'Inde, je viens de wherever you're from, right? Very good. I see our travel guy in the description. Getting on my phone keeps buzzing on end. Let me just see if there's anything urgent happening that I have to deal with. Nope, nothing urgent. Good. Just something else. Fantastic. Fantastique. Okay. What is this called in French? What do you call this? I'll show you some other ones. Look at my pencil case, by the way. My name is on it. What do we call these? What? I'll give you some examples here. What do we call these guys? What is this called? Right? This one, this one, this one. What is this called in French? Right? We call these stylos. Right? Un stylo, deux stylos, two pens, trois stylos, right? Quatre stylos, four pens. These are all stylo, 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 stylo. Okay. What about what if you're like, oh, we haven't done this in a long time, just a basic phrase. And you're like, oh, I don't speak French. I'm like going, like if I start speaking really fast, hey, salut, tu vas bien? Qu'est-ce que tu as fait aujourd'hui? T'as passé une bonne journée? Oh ouais, c'est vraiment bien que tu suis mes cours de français. And I'm like speaking really fast. You're like, whoa, I don't understand. I don't speak French. How would you say those? I don't understand. I don't speak French. Oh no, my pencils all fell down. How do you say that? I don't understand. I don't speak French. We did both of those phrases a while back. Hopefully you remember. If not, we're going to re-see it again. You say what? Ouf. Je ne comprends pas. Je ne parle pas français. Je ne comprends pas. Je ne parle pas français. Right? Je ne comprends pas. Je ne comprends pas. Right up here, right? Je ne oh, I spelled comprends wrong. Sorry, there's misspelled. Then us. There we go. Je ne comprends pas. I don't understand. Why? Because je ne parle pas français. Right? What if I said, now, question for you, would it be acceptable for me to say, oh, je comprends pas, je parle pas français? Je comprends pas, je parle pas français. What if we don't say this ne? Is that acceptable? If I say je, so closer. Je comprends pas, je parle pas français. Is that acceptable? Yes. When we speak with friends and family and people we know, this is acceptable. Okay. Fantastique. On continue. Let's continue. Let me see. What else can we review here? How would you ask someone, are you French? I'm going to grab something that fell down here while you think about it. How would you ask someone, hey, are you French? What would you say? Think about it as I pick up this pen that fell over. Ugh. What do you say? Are you French? How would you ask that? You say, give me 3 ways to ask, are you French? Okay, 3 different options. There's 3 ways to say it. Right? What can we say? Are you French? Okay, what is option 1? You can say, tu es français? Right? Tu es français? Right? You can say, what else can we say? We can reverse the tu and the est. Es-tu français? Right? We can say, es-tu français? So again, right, we flipped. We've talked about this before. We noticed the tu and the est have reversed positions in the sentence, right? The tu moved over here. The est moved over here. Es-tu français? Right? Or we can say, we can use est-ce que, as we saw in the last video. Est-ce que tu es français? Right? Right? Est-ce que tu es français? I see travel. You're typing in the live chat here. Let me just quickly have a look and make sure your sentences are correct. And Tessa's got some stuff in here too. Je comprends, mais je parle pas français. Very good. T'es d'origine française. Yeah, you can say that. Vous êtes français. Yep. T'es français. Tu viens de France. Yep. Travel. All of yours are correct too. Just mindful. Te is not actually a word. It's just an abbreviation. You should write tu es. But when you speak, you might say te. Since you're watching it live, I'll give you that little feedback. Nice. Okay, I think we've done, let me just have a quick look. Any other review I really want to do here? I don't think so. I don't think there's any other review that I really want to do. I guess just a reminder, we saw this in the last lesson, but just a reminder, I suppose. Remember, what happens if we have ne and the next word starts with a vowel? And same with je. We saw this in the last video. Ne and a vowel and je and a vowel. What happens? Right? These change, right? You remember this? You make it N apostrophe and J apostrophe. So for example, how do if I want to say I don't like, je ne aime pas, right? Je ne aime pas. If we look at this ne, and we look at this first letter, what is that? That is an A. A is a vowel. So ne, the next word starts in a vowel. Ne aime becomes n'aime. N apostrophe A I M E. Je n'aime pas. I don't like. Or another example, how do we say I have, right? I have, we've learned, is j'ai, right? J'ai is I have, j'ai. So since j'ai is I have, j'ai is a combination of je plus et, right? Je plus, I don't like all this glare today, but there's nothing I can do about it. Je plus et, right? It's a combination. We have a je, the next word starts in a vowel, so this becomes j'ai. Makes sense? We saw that last time. Okay, I think we've done enough review for today. We're at the timestamp is 1928. So 1928. 1928. Question word start. Great. Question word start. Wow, lots of people are on the Google Doc today. Interesting. I'm seeing like 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you right now in the French Google Doc. Spanish one currently has Looks like some people are working through the Spanish right now too. There's 2 people that are kind of in the Spanish Google Doc as I'm recording this. That's cool. I do have a Spanish course like this as well, so you guys know. Okay, so we've done our review. Let's go into some question words in French. Okay, so what are the question words in English? Let's start there. We have who, we have what, we have where, we have when, we have why. Where should I write this? Why. And then we have how. Right? I'll also add a couple more. We have how much, or how much and how many. How much. We have how many. Okay. And one last one. It's not a question word, but it's nice to do as well while we're doing question words. It's the word for because. Okay. So I'll give you a moment here to write these down on your paper, whatever you're using for notes. Okay. Who, what, where, when, why, how much, how many, and at the very bottom there, because. Right? Who, what, where, when, who, what, where, when, why, how much, how many, because. These are the question words that we are going to learn. Okie dokie. Think I've hopefully given you enough time to write these down. If not, please click the pause button. Click pause and then write them down and then continue the video. Let me lock this screen. So who is qui? Qui. Like this. Q-U-I. Qui. It is pronounced kind of like the word key, like a house key, like to open your house door, a key, right? Qui. All right. We have what. What, I'm going to give you, there's 2 words. I'm going to give you que, and you also will use, sometimes see quoi. Most of our attention, I'm going to circle it. Okay. We have que, and we have quoi. We're going to spend most of our attention on que, but please plant in the back of your mind that quoi is also an option. But que is going to be the primary focus of our attention. Okay. We have where, which is où. Où. It's pronounced like ooh, like ooh, ooh, ah, like a monkey. Ooh. O-U, there's a little accent on top of the U. There's a little like dash above it. Okay, où. When is quand. Quand. Right here. Quand. Quand. Why. Pourquoi. Pour. Quoi. Pourquoi. Pourquoi. How. Comment. 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 Right there. Comment. How much and how many is the same. Both of them are the same. Combien. Combien. I'll write them twice, you can see it. Combien. Okay. How much, combien. How many is also combien. Both of these, combien. And then because, it's not a question word, but because is good to do at this stage as well, which is parce que. Parce que. You can ask, I see Aigun in the live chat. You can ask questions whenever you want. Type them in. If you're watching live, you have the benefit of asking questions. Okay? I might not answer it immediately, but I will answer throughout the video. I'll make sure I answer it. Okay? Or if it's too hard to answer, if it's super deep or detailed or something, I'll just have you send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, somewhere like that, and I'll just answer it. I'll just answer it one-off individually with you. Okay? So because, parce que, parce que, parce que. Okay. So hope you got those written down. If not, I'll hold this up and you can, oh, is it actually easier to read if I hold it further back? Maybe. Maybe it's easier to read. Maybe not. Okay. I'll hold it up. Feel free to click pause, write them all down, make sure you've got it. Okay. We're going to go through the pronunciation of all these one more time. So I'll read them out to you. Maybe I'll hold it like here. There, we need to hold it in a way where I can see as well. Perfect. So, qui, que, où, quand, pourquoi, comment, combien, parce que. Let's do one more time. Qui, right? Qui, que, or this bottom one is quoi. But again, que is our bigger focus. So qui, que, où, quand, pourquoi, comment, combien, parce que. Parce que. Okay. The most important thing I'll stress here, it's really difficult to get. It's really difficult to get pronunciation right without any feedback. So the easiest way to make sure your pronunciation is done well is to actually have someone listen to you and correct you to say, hey, this is right. Oh, it's not quite there. I don't understand, things like that. That's the easiest way to do it. So the biggest recommendation that I have for you guys is that you use me as a resource. So send me voice clips on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook is an option, not ideal, but you could do on Facebook as well. Those three places, send me voice clips of you saying all these words if you'd like, right? Saying all of these question words, and I'll make sure that you are saying it correctly, and I'll give you feedback on it. I find, actually, a completely random side note, I find that this is kind of a missing element in a lot of online resources for language learning. Like when you follow another online program, if you're going through other online programs, often I find they kind of lack that feedback portion, and it's almost half the equation. Like half the equation is the knowledge and the practice and making sure you get it. Can you write it? Can you read it? Does it make sense to you? Can you apply it? Right? But the other half of the equation is like getting the feedback to make sure that you're being told, is this right? Is this wrong? This is what you should do. This is what you should do to do better. Things like that. So yeah, it's interesting. So who, qui, what, que, or quoi. I'm just adding these to the Google Doc. Where is où? Où. Please bear with me as I type these into the Google Docs. You guys have them in that note file. Où. When is quand. Why is pourquoi. How is comment. How much and how many is combien. And because is parce que. Okay, fantastic. So we have these question words, right? I'm going to clear the screen here. So we have these question words. Now we can use these question words to actually form questions in French. We can use these. Okay. So for example, let me show you what I mean. Let's say you want to ask something like, you want to say, actually, let's look at some questions we already know. If we want to say, what's your name, right? Comment t'appelles-tu? tu. Right? Comment t'appelles-tu? Comment t'appelles-tu? We have this here, right? What we've done is we've combined, we've put how in the beginning of the sentence, and then we followed it up with what type of question is this? Remember we looked at 3 different ways to phrase questions or to form questions. We looked at intonation, we looked at reversal, and we looked at using est-ce que. So if you look at this, what have they done? They did the reversal, didn't they? Because look, tu is here, t'appelles is here. They flipped the positions. We see it as a dash, which is the indicator. So you put comment in front of a question, which now makes it, how are you called? What is your name? Okay. Let's look at something like, let's say you want to say, what are you eating? Okay. You eat, or you are eating, I'll give it to you, is tu manges. This is you eat. Can also mean you are eating. Okay. Tu manges means you eat or you are eating. It can mean both. So if you want to say, what are you eating? We have some different options, right? We can say, number 1, que manges-tu? Que manges-tu? Notice, manges-tu is the reversal type of question. Manges-tu. And we literally stuck a que before it. Que manges-tu? Okay. If we just said manges-tu, what does that mean? If I said manges-tu, what would that mean? Just without the que. Manges-tu would mean, are you eating? Right? Are you eating? Manges-tu? Are you eating right now? Right? Or it could also mean, do you eat? Like in life, do you eat? Everybody obviously does. We could be asking, do you eat? Right? Manges-tu? The second we add que, it makes it, what are you eating? What if we want to combine que with est-ce que? Right? So number 2, we could say, est-ce que tu manges? Okay, let's leave it here for now. What if I said, est-ce que tu manges? What does this mean? Est-ce que tu manges? Let's start with, we know est-ce que indicates the question. Tu manges means what? You eat. So est-ce que tu manges means, do you eat or are you eating? If we stick this que before it, what happens then? It becomes, what are you eating? Right? What are you eating? Right? Que, what? Est-ce que tu manges? Do you eat? Or what are you eating? Now, important note, que is a word where if it's followed by a vowel, if the next word is followed by a vowel, we have to make this a QU apostrophe. So we have to make this not que est-ce que tu manges, but qu'est-ce que tu manges? Qu'est-ce que, oops. Qu'est-ce que tu manges? Right? Let's see some more examples. I know this might be a little bit confusing, so let me show you a bunch of examples just in case. Okay. What if you want to say, what, let me write this in English first. What are you doing? Okay. What are you doing? Right? What are you doing? Now, let's start with you do. You do or you are doing in French is tu fais. You do or can also mean you are doing. Okay. Tu fais either means you do or can also mean you are doing. So if you want to say what are you doing, we say what? What can we say? We have to start with which word? We have to start with que. Right? Que. Right there. Que. Okay. We'll always start with que. Now we can either, let's put this back up. We can reverse these two, right? Whenever we have questions, we are able to reverse these two words to make a question. So we could say que fais-tu? Que fais-tu? What do you? What are you doing? What do you? What if we want to use est-ce que? What can we say then? Right? Let's show this to you again. What if we want to use est-ce que? Well, we have to start with que. We always start with our question word. So que. Okay. Now we're going to put the que. Show you here. We have que. Okay. Now we have to add est-ce que. Que. Est-ce que. Okay. We have que. Est-ce que. Now we look, we have a que. The next one starts in a vowel. So it's actually a Q apostrophe, right? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Shall we see some more examples? Let's see a couple more. Let's look at some different question words, okay? Let me just quickly write these into the Google Doc so I have these examples written. So what are you doing? And we did, what was the first one? What are you doing? And what are you eating? Okay. What are you doing? What are you eating? We'll look at those. I'll add those into the Google Doc after. All right, great. Let's look at some other questions we could ask. Let's look at, we did que. Why don't we look at who? Okay. So we know who. How do we say who? Who is what? Qui, right? Qui is who. So if I want to say, who are you, right? Who are you? Well, we already know, for example, how do you say, we reviewed this a few times throughout this course. How do you say, like, are you French? Or are you Canadian? Are you, right? You would say, oops, I wrote that wrong. Tu right? We already know, like, things like es-tu français? We learned this, right? Are you French? So what if I want to say, who are you? Very simple. We say, qui es-tu? Qui es-tu? Who are you? Okay. Trinity's got a question in the live chat, a very good question. Trinity says, when do you use qu'est-ce que or est que? Est que you would never use. So the second thing you were just like est que by itself, never. So est space que, I'll write it on the blackboard. You never use est que. This is not used for questions, right? Est que. Qu'est-ce que versus est-ce que. I understand. Sorry, I misunderstood the question. Yes, good question. So they're asking, what is the difference between Est-ce que, excellent, this is an excellent question. Est-ce que, and a very relevant question. And qu'est-ce que? Right? What is the difference between est-ce que and qu'est-ce que? What's the difference? Well, the difference is qu'est-ce que, the really easy way to view it, if the grammar is difficult, this is a good tip for everybody. If you're ever struggling with grammar rules, I encourage you to memorize phrases. Instead of memorizing why it's qu'est-ce que, how the grammar works, forget the grammar then. That actually works for me sometimes. My brain doesn't really capture grammar. Qu'est-ce que is only for questions that start with what. Qu'est-ce que is for questions that start with what. What are you doing? What is he saying? What's your problem? What is the capital of Canada? What is this? What is his what's his deal? What? Questions that start in what start with qu'est-ce que. Questions, maybe I should write that. I'll just write that for the visual learners in case we have some visual people here. Only for questions starting with what? So qu'est-ce que is only for questions starting with what. Est-ce que, it depends on the sentence, but usually it'll be one of the following. It'll be with questions starting with do, right? Do you like to play tennis? Do you like to eat broccoli? Do you want to learn French? Do you blah 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 blah, right? Can be do, could mean does as well, right? Does Jack speak French? Does my mom like I don't know, doesn't like to eat chocolate? Does so and so blah 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 blah. Okay. Est-ce que could mean are, right? Are you French? Right? Are you Canadian? Are you blah 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 blah? Basically, est-ce que is a generic question thing. There's lots of options under est-ce que, but qu'est-ce que is only used for questions starting in what. Does that make sense? I hope so. Est-ce que is nothing more than indicating it's a question. Hope that makes some sense. We'll do lots and lots of practice. We'll do lots and lots of examples so we can really understand this and get it deeply and get it really get it deeply in your brains. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. Trinity says yes, it makes sense. Good. Glad it does. I'm gonna grab some water here. Okay. Great. Let me see the time. I've got a student that I'm teaching later, so just make sure I don't be late for them. Yeah, I've got some time. Good. Great. So let's see some more examples with these questions, right? Let's look at some other questions that we can form with other question words. So we're looking at qui, for example, right? Qui, which is who. I might say, who is Barack Obama. Oops, actually, let's not do that one. We don't. Let's keep it only with words you guys know. Who are? It's actually difficult to make a question with who, considering the words you already know. With who, the only thing we can really do, considering what we've already learned, is like, who are you? It's really all we can really do at this point. Let's look at a different question word. Let's look at, for example, let's look at a question like, where are you, right? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, so the word for where, guys, feel free to look at your notes, is what? Où, right? So we can say où. Okay. And now we can say, we have two ways to say this really. Where are you? Où es-tu? Right? Où, where are you? Or we can say, où est-ce que tu es? Où est-ce que tu es? Where est-ce que you are? This is way faster. So you probably just say où es-tu, but this is technically an option. Où es-tu? Where are you? Okay, let me just write this one down here in the Google Doc. Where are you? Où es-tu? Okay, again, if the grammatical constructions are difficult, start by memorizing phrases only. Just memorize, oh yeah, où es-tu? Where are you? Où es-tu is where are you? And if the grammar is a little bit difficult, don't have to be super concerned. Because here's the thing about grammar that's interesting. No matter how good you are, the thing with grammar and what actually, and the way that your brain actually understands grammar is your brain will start to automatically see patterns. If I just beat a nail, if I just like show you consistently the pattern, we really focus on this grammatical pattern over and over, it'll help to an extent, but it's not really going to help. It's not going to help till until you've seen lots of examples, you've had lots of exposure to the language, lots of practice over time, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually your brain starts to make the connections and the patterns and it starts to make sense. So one thing you can do to help your brain make the pattern is if you just start to learn certain phrases, eventually your brain is going to notice overlap between certain phrases and it's going to put the pattern together for you over time. Sometimes that can happen. Happens to me all the time, actually. It's in French, it's happened to me a lot for different grammatical things that were difficult. So it's definitely something that is important to note. Okay. Let's look at something like, let me look at the verbs we've done. What if I want to say, let's say you're like swimming and it's a really dirty pool. It's like a filthy pool. And you're like, why the heck are you swimming? Why are you swimming? Right? I'll give you are swimming or you swim. So you have it. You already know to swim. You know nager. But for you swim or you are swimming. Right? Tu nages. Okay? Tu nages. Tu nages. Either you swim or you are swimming. So if I want to say, why are you swimming? Let's start with the word for why. How do we say why? We say what? Pour. Oh, I didn't write it. We say pourquoi. Pourquoi. Okay? Here's pourquoi. Why? Okay? Now we have two options, right? We can do the reversal style of question. Pourquoi nages tu? Pourquoi nages-tu? Remember, we saw that we can make questions by reversing the position of these two words, of the subject and the verb, right? So we can say, pourquoi nages-tu? Why are you swimming? Or option 2, pourquoi est-ce que tu nages? Pourquoi est-ce que tu nages? Pourquoi est-ce que tu nages? Right? Let me write this one in the Google Doc as well. Oops. Why are you swimming? Right? What if I want to say, why are you eating? Why are you eating? Let's say it's It's you just had dinner, and then this person sitting down and having a big steak right after dinner. You're like, why are you eating? You just had dinner. Why are you eating steak again, right? We know you eat is what? Tu, how do we say eat? Tu manges, right? Tu manges. Okay? So we can say, pourquoi manges-tu? Pourquoi manges-tu? Or we can say, pourquoi est-ce que tu manges? Right? Pourquoi est-ce que tu manges? What if you're like, you had a big surgery and you had your leg was like, you had a major surgery on your leg, and suddenly the next day you see the person walking, right? Well, how would you say, why are you walking? You walk is tu marches. I'll write it for you. Tu marches, right? Right up here. Tu marches. So I could say, pourquoi marches-tu? Pourquoi marches-tu? Or, pourquoi est-ce que tu marches? Oops. Pourquoi est-ce que tu marches? There we go, that's better lighting. Pourquoi est-ce que tu marches? Oh, if I tilt it back, you get way better lighting on that. Pourquoi est-ce que tu marches? Why are you walking, right? What if we want to switch this up a little bit? Let me just write that again. So, tu marches. Or no, let's say swim. Come on, let's go tu nages. Let's say swim. Tu nages equals you swim. Or you are swimming. Okay. So we have tu nages, right? What if I want to say, hey, how do you swim? Like, how do you swim? Like, how do you as a person, like, how do you swim, right? What are your options? Well, how do we say the word for how? What's the word for how? Same pattern, actually, with the pourquoi. So we have to start with the word how, right? Comment. Okay. I encourage you to actually hit pause. Try this on your own. We've seen a few examples. We're seeing a few repetitions. Try this one on your own before you see me do it, okay? Okay. I hope I gave you enough time. If not, feel free to hit pause. So, pourquoi, or sorry, not pourquoi. Comment nages-tu? How do you swim? Now, careful. This how do you swim is not like saying what are the steps of swimming. It's me specifically asking you, how do you swim? What is your style of swimming? Are you someone who does the front crawl, or do you do a butterfly stroke? What is your style of swimming is what I'm asking you. So, comment nages-tu? Or, what's our second option? Comment est-ce que tu nages? Comment est-ce que tu nages? For people, for the few of you watching live, I want to see, give me like one or two, give me something easy, hard. Do you get it? Do you not get it? I know it's maybe this is starting to get a little bit more difficult. So I want to make sure we go nice and slow, make sense to everyone. Hopefully the live people can give me some indication. And that way, if it's really unclear, I can spend more time, because most people are watching this recorded, right? So I want to make sure that it's really clear for people, as clear as it possibly can be. If not, I'm super happy to clarify and give more examples and everything. So this works for all question words. So to summarize, if we're going to summarize this, right? If you want to ask a question with a question word, who, what, where, when, why, how much, etc. The formula, if you want to say, is it goes, number one, you start with the question word. Right? So step one, you start with the question word. Okay? Question word. Who, what, where, when, why, how, etc. Right? Qui, que, quand, où, blah, 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 blah. Start with your question word. Trinity's got it. That's good. Number two. You're going to start either write. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to keep it really simple. I'm going to really try and simplify this. You write est-ce que. Est-ce que. Yeah, I'll try and keep this really simple. If you're looking for like a really easy formula that'll work most of the time, question word, est-ce que, and a statement. This is a formula you can follow. Question word, est-ce que, statement. Question word, est-ce que, statement. Let me give you some examples. So when we looked at some of the sentences we already did, right? When we looked at in the notes here. So if we look at like, what are you, what are you doing, right? What are you doing? The question word is que, right? Right? Question word is que. Right? There's our question word. Then we write est-ce que, right? Because step two is you write est-ce que. So you wrote our question word, check. Next we write est-ce que. We're going to write est-ce que beside it, right? Right? Que. Est-ce que, and then a statement. If I want to say, what are you doing? Well, you do or you are doing is tu fais. So tu fais by your state by itself is a statement. You're doing, you do. What are you doing? Want to say, what are you eating? How do you say you eat or you are eating? Tu manges. Right? Que est-ce que tu fais? Que est-ce que tu manges? Right? Etc. How do we say whatever, right? Trinity says, I have one, but it has cuisine in it. Est-ce que cuisine? Very close. If you want to say cuisine is cooking. So if you look in the live chat, people, you'll see Trinity's got her cuisines to cook. If you want to say, what are you cooking? Qu'est-ce que tu cuisines? Right? Que est-ce que tu go right to the bottom? Cuisine, C-U-I-S-I-N-E-S. Cuisine. Now, specifically with que est-ce que, remember, que we have que and the next word starts in a vowel. So this has to become an apostrophe. So qu'est-ce que, Q-U, apostrophe, right? Est-ce que tu fais? You can follow this formula, okay, for asking questions using question words. If this has not been super difficult for you and you're like, you know what? I'm kind of following this. I'm good, Azren. I'm following you, okay? If you're there, I'm going to give you a secondary option. If this is enough and you're like, okay, no, I don't know if I can take more than this, Azren, just leave it with that. Leave it with this formula. This will work 90% of the time. You'll be good. But if you're following and you're like, hey, yeah, I'm following you, Azren, you could also do question word. And instead of est-ce que, right, let me actually rewrite this. Question word. Okay. You can also do question word, and you can do your reversal style of asking a question. So do you remember we can flip the pronoun and the verb. Remember how we did that? So for example, do you like something? You could say aimes-tu blah blah blah. Remember this kind of question? Aimes-tu blah blah blah. Or if I want to say are you something, I could say es-tu blah blah blah, right? Es-tu Canadian, French, are you French? Are you Canadian? Are you blah, blah, blah? Are you American? Are you this or this, right? You could do question word, reversal. N2, wait, let me think. Où es-tu? Wait, let me think about this. Question word, reversal. So, où es-tu? Yes, you can do reversal, and you can make a question using your reversal. So step 3, complete your sentence, complete your question. This is a little bit more complicated, and I understand if this is kind of complex and you're like, wait, what does Azren mean? This is beyond my pay grade. You don't have to follow this. You don't have to use this style. As I said, 90% of the time, the other simple system I gave you is going to work wonders. But if you want something a little bit more advanced and you want to kind of challenge yourself and you feel like you can do it, you can use this formula as well. So question word, reversal, and then complete your sentence. So some examples of stuff like this is like key. Oops, let's not do that one. Will be something like a question like comment t'appelles-tu would fall into this category. Comment t'appelles-tu, right? This would fit into this category. Comment is our question word. We've done a reversal. T'appelles-tu, right? We've done a reversal of our verb and our subject. In this case, we don't have to add in step 3. We don't have to add anything after that because this question makes sense by itself, right? Or I could say que, or rather qu'aimes-tu manger? Right? I could say this. Qu'aimes-tu manger? So question word is que. Aimes-tu is our reversal. Manger is to finish the sentence, so it makes sense what we're trying to say. Question word, reversal, finish the sentence. Question word, reversal, finish the sentence. What like you to eat? What do you like to eat? Does that make sense? Again, if this second style is like a little bit of a mind twist, you're like, I don't know if that fully makes sense. It's okay. For us to hit the outcome of this class, so we mentioned that the outcome of this whole course is for you to be able to kind of have an A1 level in French. So as a reminder, I want you to be able to manage through kind of a 5 to 10 minute conversation with another French speaker. That's the purpose of this course, that you can go through it and actually have a 5 to 10 minute conversation. That is the purpose. For you to, if you don't fully understand this, it's not going to affect whether or not you can have a 5 to 10 minute conversation with someone, because you have other forms of asking questions. You have other ways of asking questions that are going to be equally as effective, and you'll be able to get your point across in a grammatical correct way that sounds natural and everything. There's not going to be any issue. And the good news is, if someone asks you a question using this form, right? So Travel here in their live chat asks, is this used a lot in France? Yeah, it is used in France. But here's the good thing. It's easier to understand something that's said to you. It's easier to, if someone said this to you, it's easier for you to understand what they asked you, because if you don't hear every word, but you hear the key words in the sentence, with the context of where you are, you'll still be able to understand. It's easier to understand something without hearing every word than it is for you to reproduce it. For example, like if this is the question we're talking about, qu'aimes-tu manger? What do you like to eat? Let's say we're in a bakery and there's like lots of stuff around us and like and there's lots of stuff, and someone else will go like, oh, what do you like to eat, right? Like, what kind of stuff do you like to eat in general? Because you're in a bakery and all this yummy stuff. They said, oh, wow, qu'est-ce que tu aimes manger? Qu'aimes-tu manger? Whatever. You might literally just hear the word manger, and you're like, oh, clearly we're in a place with lots of delicious things. I heard the word manger. The rest of it was a bit of a blur. I kind of caught it. I think he's asking me, like, what kind of stuff do I like to eat? Or do I want to eat some of the stuff? And all of a sudden, you're fine, right? So yeah, wow, that was a deep lesson. We'll need to do lots of practice with this. I think over time, we'll do lots of listening comprehension. We'll see way more examples. I think at any point in the class, out of everything we've done so far, this is probably the point where I'm most encouraged, where I really want people to do their homework. I've been giving homework in these classes, as you guys know. I highly encourage you to do this particular homework assignment that I'm about to give you. I really want you to try sending me some questions using our question words. I want you to try your best. If it's really messy and you're struggling, that's okay. I'll give you the feedback and we'll be able to work on it together one-on-one. Okay, so let me just type that homework into the Google Doc here. Homework. Send me text and audio message asking me some different questions using the question words above. Okie dokie. Well, I hope that was useful for you guys. Hope you guys learned something new. I forgot to write the timestamp of when we finished, but not that it matters. I mean, really, we started doing, the whole class was basically all on question words. So not much for the timestamps in this video, I don't think. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something new. And as per always, we will talk very, very soon. Bye for now. See you. Oh, by the way, Travel said, what about the A2 next level? Oh, I don't know. A2 class will be done. I mean, maybe I'll make an A2. I have no idea. Right now, my primary goal is to make something where you can be somewhere in the ballpark of an A1 level by following the course in both French and Spanish. That's going to take a good, there's going to be at least 15 to 25 hours of videos before we even like touch A2 at all. So we'll see. Maybe after that, but for now I'm focused just on that A1 kind of content. So Ayun says, when will you make a new live video? I'm trying. I have way more time this week, and last week I had way more time than I typically do. So I'm trying to get so much done, a lot of hours in this course done. Probably, I'm going to probably do another Spanish one today, a Spanish one later, and then French probably tomorrow, most likely tomorrow. Maybe I might even try to get a third one done today and just get a whole bunch done. I'm trying to get as much of this course done in this week and last week before my schedule gets really, really busy again. I just had extra time over the past couple of weeks to really kind of squish through some stuff. So, yep. Well, anyway, we'll wrap this video up there. Appreciate it. We'll talk soon. Bye.